Hi, and welcome back. The Fischoff began in 1973 when Joseph E. Fischoff and members of the South Bend Chamber Music Society founded a competition intended to encourage emerging instrumental chamber musicians. There were a grand total of 6 ensembles who participated in that first year of competition. Here we are 49 years later, and more than 7,600 musicians have participated in this competition since its beginning, including Grammy Award winners and ensembles that have had a huge impact on the chamber music world. The Fischoff is the largest chamber music competition in the nation, but it is so much more. As we saw in the video, Fischoff ensembles not only compete and perform at an exceptional level, they're also involved in many educational endeavors. These include Peer Ambassadors for Chamber Music, or the very clever acronym PAC-MAN, which takes place during the competition weekend and brings junior ensembles to second and third graders for informal workshops. Fischoff's junior competitors are just the right age to make good role models for elementary school kids. Yesterday, 11 Fischoff junior ensembles visited 11 South Bend area elementary schools. The Fischoff Chamber Music Academy gives motivated high school musicians within a 50-mile radius of South Bend the opportunities to be put in chamber ensembles and coached by professional chamber musicians throughout the year. This year, Fischoff provided coaching for 10 ensembles who were then invited to participate in master classes, recitals, and recently were featured performers in our local chapter of Music for Food. Committed to music education, the Fischoff partners with competition alumni to bring free, innovative music programs directly to children in their own schools and community centers. Each fall, we host the Double Gold Tour, presenting our Wind and String Senior Division winners in concerts and outreach programs. Known as the Fischoff Arts in Education Residency, these programs have served more than 91,500 community children since 1995, and they reach more than 4,000 underserved and at-risk young people every year. In October, we welcomed the Thalia String Quartet as the 2021 Ann Devine Educator Award winner. They came to the South Bend area to present educational programs to elementary, middle school, and high school students. The Thalia String Quartet thrilled audiences with their performances and created the newest production of Fischoff's Sam I Am, that's Stories and Music. The quartet reenacted the Caldecott honor-winning book Creepy Carrots, pairing wonderful chamber music of Daniel Bernard Romaine, Florence B. Price, Antonine Dvorak, and Gabriella Smith's Carrot Revolution to bring the life-to-life characters, ideas, and emotions as the story was told. The young audiences were ecstatic, and we were delighted to see not only a musical spark lit, but also a reading spark was ignited for more than 650 second graders who had been in remote learning since kindergarten. Fischoff ensembles contribute enthusiasm, talent, and instruction to young people across South Bend, the state of Indiana, and beyond. And needless to say, the Fischoff has grown from 6 ensembles to not only a renowned national competition, but also a champion for the arts. And now, it's not saying anything dramatic to say that no one has seen the growth of Fischoff more than Tom Rosenberg, Fischoff's artistic director since 1981. He's an accomplished cellist with a long list of credentials and awards, and Fischoff has been so lucky to have Tom in leadership. Sir, it is an honor for me to get a chance to talk to you about all these things. About a month before things shut down due to COVID, Fischoff celebrated their 40th anniversary at the 2020 annual gala. Here we are in 2022, and you are at your 42nd competition. Yes. And nobody is in a better position to answer this question than you are. What is it that sets Fischoff apart in your mind?
Well, I really believe it has to do with the people that work for the Fischoff. We take such great care that everyone who comes here feels like they're treated right, that all the communication that comes to them is personal, and that education is the prime goal of this event and not somebody just winning, although that's important too.
Yes, especially to the competitors. How has this competition changed as the years have gone by? And you have been a central part of the vision of this thing as it has unfolded over the years.
In some ways, it's changed enormously. It's moved several times, and now we're here at Notre Dame and have been for a long time. But it's grown so much, and the most dramatic area that has been in the junior division, where when I first showed up here in South Bend with my quartet, junior division had only a few entries, and it was really pretty weak. And now the junior division, the level is stunning. It's about to be demonstrated here in the junior semifinals this afternoon. We now have a wind division, which is still growing, and the string division has grown into a huge nationwide thing, whereas there was very little of it going on before the Fischoff started. So I really feel the Fischoff having a junior division and being the only competition at the time to do that changed the whole landscape of chamber music in the country. And some of the organizations who kind of joined to help us do that have also really been instrumental, so to speak, in that happening. So it's really the growth of the junior division and then how that's led to the advancement of chamber music at the collegiate level, so where it's all so much higher than it used to be.
Well, and you know, for those of us who can remember back, who are more than old enough to remember the junior division back in those early days and to appreciate what it has become today, I mean, what have you been feeding these young musicians? How did that happen?
You know, that's a really good question, but I think as partially based because of the Fischoff, and we had this prize, younger and younger people started to play chamber music. The level of string playing and teaching has also evolved and gotten, you know, younger people doing more advanced music, but then the skills they learn from chamber music, which are so different from private lessons or orchestra, have propelled them up to, you know, the listening skills that you learn are just at such a different level. Yeah. And they've started younger and younger and younger, and I've seen it in my own program in St. Paul, where 10 years ago I never would have had 12-year-old kids playing chamber music, and now I do. And here we have 12-year-old kids playing chamber music at the level of higher than many professional people could play. So.
And what drives them? I just can't imagine they could get that good and work that hard just because their parents were cracking the whip and saying, get back to practicing. I mean, what is it?
It's the same thing that drives kids to love whatever they love. Sports, Thomas the Tank Engine, you name it. You know, when you get a passion for something, you want to do it. People don't blink twice about kids doing 3 hours of sports every day after school. It's the same kind of thing. These guys want to do music every day, as much as they can. I know I have a son who's an athlete. He wants to do sports 5 hours a day, and people go, "How? Oh my goodness!" And I think, well, your kid's practicing 5 hours a day. You know, so it's what they love to do, I hope it's what they love to do. I know. You know, everybody's very anxious to get their instrument out and play. They love it.
Well, and it shows. I mean, my gosh. I know there are other competitions, and we've taken note of other musical competitions around the country and around the world, for that matter, over the years. But what is it about Fischoff that you would see as what's the secret ingredient here?
Well,
what has brought Fischoff up to this level? Where it's
honestly, I think it's that myself and others have tried to keep the original mission of the organization intact. Invite as many people as possible. We have a crazy schedule compared to most other competitions because the goal was to even people who were maybe not quite as advanced and ready to win could come and get the experience. And so we've always invited as many groups as there's possibly time for, rather than weeding them out through the initial process. And then sometimes those groups are the ones at the back end are the ones who win anyway. So by being so inclusive and so insistent on, you know, doing all these educational things during the competition and after, I think it's set it apart, and also just it's known for its integrity and no political shenanigans and having a jury that really is committed to the same purpose, which is my job to hire them, is to find the people we want to be the jury, so that the integrity of the competition continues.
Well, and you deserve tremendous credit for all of what you've contributed. Speaking of jurors, though, how do you convince them to come here and be jurors?
It's most of them. It's pretty easy.
Really?
Yeah, now at least. It used to be I have to explain what the Fischoff is. Now it's like, oh, I'd love to do that. I'll have to see if I can cancel my daughter's wedding, and then I'll do it.
Yeah.
Most of them really want to do it.
Yeah.
But I always ask, if I don't know someone, I'll ask about their personality and their integrity and their commitment to education, not just that they're a star or something.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure they all respect you, and that has to be
Maybe.
part of the draw, right?
I don't know.
And they know you're going to treat them well when they're here.
Yeah.
Although you do work them pretty hard.
Yeah, and a lot of our jurors are actually former prize winners now.
Yeah.
We've been going so long, I always try to make sure we have people of representative from minorities and women. That's been going on for 30 years at this competition. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
And then as it's grown, now we can have prize winners come back and be jurors. So
Yeah. We're inside a minute here. You want to do any handicapping on how this
Nope.
is all going to come out?
Nope.
He won't ever do that. He won't ever do that.
No.
Remember back in the old days, they used to pass out papers to the
no
audience
way.
to let you try to judge the
I'm
groups.
just glad I'm not on the jury. That's
Yeah.
all I can say, because
Yeah.
it's painful to tell any of these people that they don't come in first,
Yeah.
because they're great.
Well, I'm going to run out of time, but let me take the time that's left to thank you for all you have done.
You've been here a long
for
time
English
too.
Fischoff. Yeah, I'm just window dressing. I'm not foundational support and vision for this organization as you have been, and thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
I don't know how it could operate without you.
It will.
Someday, 50 years from now. All right, thank you. Tom Rosenberg, Artistic Director for the Fischoff for 42 years. Let's get back to the competition.